We're about to wrap up our week wrap up our week of racing here at Gulfstream Park West. I guess it's Sunday. I could be excused. It's been a long week. We've gone 5 in a row. Welcome to Gulfstream Park West, the Fall Turf Festival, and we have a nice day today. It is beautiful out. Fast main track, a firm turf course, and Katie, we got to carry over in the Rainbow Six, which starts in race number 5 this afternoon. There you see it, $4,000 plus. Races 5 through 10. It's a really beautiful day here in South Florida. Got some wind out of the northwest, it makes it seem less humid here.
Oh my gosh, there's virtually no humidity. You are our resident weatherman and an expert of the dew point and the humidity here in South Florida.
Yeah, the dew point is pretty good today.
Pretty good today, and we just have a really nice breeze. It's a lovely temperature. The sun is shining, and that just makes for great racing weather.
One day I got to find out what a dew point actually is. I always talk about it, but I don't know quite what it is. But over at Gulfstream Park, that was the joke all the winter long. I was giving out the dew point without knowing what it meant. And before we get into the Sunday card here, we mentioned the carryover in the Rainbow Six. Let's see what's out there in the Twitter sphere today. And the first one we want to talk about, Kathleen O'Connell has a pretty nice horse in addition to all her other great horses.
I love this tweet. I saw this on Twitter yesterday. Coco's Wildcat, one of Kathleen O'Connor's other runners, sent out the other day and actually won the feature at Keeneland on Friday. It was a very exciting race. I talked to Kathleen yesterday. She's still here at Gulfstream Park West in South Florida, and I congratulated her. She said it was very exciting. A great performance from Coco's Wildcat. Keeping Lady Shipman company, who's getting ready for the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. Looks like Lady Shipman may have given her a little pointer or two.
Well, they had a fantastic day yesterday at Laurel for the Maryland Million Day, but crowd favorite lost a heartbreaker.
Oh, Ben's Cat. He was running in his 6th Maryland Million, but it was his first time on the dirt. And take a look at this finish. It was a head bob. Ben's Cat just missed Jax in the deck, held on, pulled the big upset, but Ben's Cat certainly did not disgrace himself. He still ran his race.
Yeah, it looks like a nostril there in that. And then a couple of horses are tuning up for, I guess, the Breeders' Cup down the road, a Tonalist, and of course from the Ralph Nix.
Yes, Ralph Nix Tap to It Breeze just yesterday morning. Ralph ran his first race at Laurel Park yesterday for the Maryland Million, and before he went over down to Maryland, he made a stop at Belmont to check in with Tap to It on track for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. She went a nice half mile in 47.4, galloped out in 1:02. Looks like she's right on track. And of course, Ralph, our resident and reigning leading trainer here in South Florida, we wish him the best in the Breeders' Cup this year.
Yeah, she was a nice second in the spinaway, and Christophe Clement has got Tonalist, and Tonalist, of course, the Belmont Stakes winner.
Yes, and of course, he's been down here at Gulfstream. Christophe Clement keeps his horses at Payson Park and runs here at Gulfstream all winter, and we'll be seeing him soon, right after the Breeders' Cup as well.
Well, let's get to Sunday's action today. The first race, 1 mile on the turf. Turf course is firm. Claim is 3 and up. None-winners of 2 races in life. $16,000. Jockey change at number 2. Make the rider David Baracco. And please scratch number 3, Modern Tale. And Katie, you went with the number 6 horse in here, who I do not have on my ticket, and that tell us why.
That's Master Jordan, and I think this one is getting right back into the right level of competition. He may just have been too ambitiously placed last time out. He was facing winners for the first time, but he did it in an allowance. That was at Gulfstream on October 3rd. He was 11th that day, but prior to that, he led at every call to break his maiden by 3.5 lengths, and he had hit the board in 8 straight starts. I think he's going to return to that kind of consistency today in this spot. It's a great fit.
Well, with the scratch of the morning line favorite here, number 3, Modern Tale, certainly opens up the race here. I went with the 7 with Field's return. This one is returning to the mile and 16th distance after stretching out to a mile and the 16th last time out, tracking the pace, finishing 3rd. It was its first race against winners, so I just think the turn back today on the turf can help this horse. Number 7, Whitfield's return, currently on the board at 7-1, very early in the wagering. We both used the number 4, and that is a Smoke Police, as you used the 7, Whitfield's return. I put in iPhone Addiction after the scratch of the number 3 horse in here, and he's up there 3-2 net right now. But you used the who'd you else use?
I used Smoke Police,
Yeah,
like you mentioned, in 3rd, below Whitfield's return. This one, returning to the main track today, finished 3rd returning to the turf today, was on the main track last time out in an off-turf contest on September 17th. I threw him in because he's just been keeping company with a lot tougher running at the $20,000 and $30,000 claiming levels. He again finds a very nice spot today, especially with the scratch of Modern Tail, who I originally did have on the top of my ticket.
Yeah, and I found addiction now in the Oscar Gonzalez barn. He's really strong. First start off in his barn, not actually off a claim, 35%. So up there very early in the wagering, as I said, at 8-5 right now. Second race today on the main track, 6 furlongs. Claimers, fillies and mares, 3 and up, non-winners of a race in 6 months or April 18, $6,250. Katie, you went with the number 2 horse in here, and that is Good Song. I have the horse on the ticket, but you have it right on top.
I do. Speaking of Kathleen O'Connell, we mentioned her. Let's see if she can get another win down here in South Florida today. This one is returning from a 2-month freshening for the O'Connell barn, but I think she fits these conditions to an absolute T. These are for non-winners of a race since April 18th. Her last win came on April 2nd. She's been competing exclusively in open company. Should appreciate the class relief when facing condition claimers today. Plus, she's an 8-time winner at the distance.
Number 6, Mambo Myers, turning back today to this 6 furlongs or 3/4 of a mile distance after stalking the action, finishing 4th against $8,000 condition claimers, going 6.5 furlongs. Pete Wazalik Jr., Josie Gomez atop this 3-time local winner, 15 races here at Gulfstream Park West, 3 wins, a second and a third. You have it on your ticket too. I also used the 4 Something Blue, is back in action after threatening to win against this caliber competition before breaking slowly and fading from contention. That was back on August 7th. Rashawn Creaky, he's pretty solid with this kind of layoff. 25% with the 61 to 180 day layoff. Spots the 4-year-old perfectly against non-winners of a race in 6 months. I like that condition for this horse, number 4, Something Blue.
I really wasn't sure what to do with the 3 Crazy Laura, but she is the 5-2 second choice on the morning line, and she has a big class edge on a lot of this field. She actually won her first 3 starts, went undefeated, including in an upper level allowance off a 6-month layoff in January of 2014. But layoffs have just become all too common in her career. She's only raced twice since January of 2014 and hasn't run since February of this year, but she's taken a huge class drop, and she is working pretty well. She's from the Jose Garofalo barn. She might be an intriguing one here.
Yeah, you know, the 6 non-winners of a race in 6 months, so wide open condition. Third race, 5 1/2 furlongs, maiden claiming 2-year-olds, and we'll have 6 runners in this field. And I went with the number 1, Elusive Starship, a third in his career debut at this distance. Turns back today with blinkers added after dueling for the lead, drifting out a little bit at the 16th pole and fading to finish 5th. It was against Simler, going 6 furlongs. I thought of that performance. I just thought this horse turning back in distance, you know, is going to run well in here this afternoon with the blinkers added. That was my key.
I think this is a pretty open race as well, pretty competitive field. I went with the 6, Don't Make Me Cry, actually a first-time starter from the Carlo Vaccarezza barn. A really extensive 12-work breeze pattern up at Palm Meadows. His recent works really suggest that he's improving. His last 2 have been half-mile moves in 48 and 2. And his 2 siblings to race are both multiple winners, including a horse named Scipio, who earned more than $100,000.
Well, we both used the 4 and 2 on our ticket. The 4 is in Sigma, and this one is it's claiming tag carved in half today. Tracked the pace last time out, weakened to finish 7th, behind a pair of next out winners. That was a $25,000. It's $25,000 career debut at this 5.5 furlong distance. So getting some class release today. We both have it in second. We were different on our top pick, but this horse looks like a horse you got to use somewhere on the try. And we both threw in the number 2, Easy's Irishman, another first-time starter.
Yeah, this one from the Larry Pilati barn. He's the first foal to race out of an unraced tail of the Cat Mare. He would be just the 2nd winner for his young sire, Easy's Gentleman, but you have to respect the barn with these young runners. Well,
let's go to race number 4 today. 1 mile on the turf, an allowance optional claimer. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. The claiming level is $62,500. 8 in the field, no scratches or jockey changes. A pretty nice race, and you want to go back and show you a performance from Mountaineer.
Yeah, this is the West Virginia President's Cup, a pretty nice race, and drew a very nice field this day. You're going to take a look at the 2, Jester and Me, from the Mike Maker barn. This one finishes 4th in this race behind some nice runners. Only is a length from 3rd place finisher and Gulfstream Park Stakes winner Street of Gold. This is 2 starts back from Jester and Me, who comes between horses, and I thought finishes up pretty well. The rider actually eases up late a little bit when he knows that he's not going to get any closer to those top runners. Could have made it closer. racer. I think this one has just been holding her own in very tough company. Earned a 90 buyer for that effort. Prior to his last 2 starts, she won an allowance at Indiana Downs. 3-time winner at the distance. I just thought things might come together for this one, but Marcus Vitale has been so hot here at Gulfstream. I could see why you put Claiming Victory on top.
Yeah, and what I like about it, she proved she can compete with this caliber of competition. When she shipped in from Saratoga and finished it, she was running really well. She finished a fast closing second. That was in the $75,000 Panama City Stakes across town at Gulfstream. You mentioned Marcus Vitale. He claimed her for $25,000 at the Spa. Matthew Rispoli, his go-to jock. This is a 4-time turf winner, 20 races, 4 starts, 20 races, 4 wins, 3 seconds and 2/3. Went with the hot barn in there. Understand having the 3, Jester and me, on the ticket. And we both used number 8, Sawyer.
Another nice barn that's been doing well here at Gulfstream Park West, Jane Sabelli. This one finished 3rd in allowance at Delaware in her last start on September 19th. Won and was 3rd in her 2 starts here at Gulfstream Park West, so knows the surface very well. This is a cool stat. Tyler Gaffleone, he's ridden 4 horses for this barn so far at this meet. He's won all 4 of them.
That's 100%, right?
That is 100%.
And listen to this horse's record at the distance. 8 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds and 2/3. So lots of things to like about number 8, Sawyer. This one, I think you got to go exacta trifecta bucks. I think we got the right 3. What order? I'm not sure, but we certainly look like we have the top 3 in that race. 5th race this afternoon is 6 furlongs. These are claimers, 3-year-olds and up, $6,250. Scratch the 2, Valdina Saint. Also scratch the number 6, Rancho in here. So we'll be dealing with a field of 7 runners and 7 or more. We have the rolling super high 5s each and every race with 7 or more runners. So we will have the super high 5 in this race. Boy, I had a tough time handicapping this one. It ended up going with the number 1, Help a Rye, who's going to break from the rail today, hoping to make amends after finishing second. Was the favorite that day. That was its local debut at this level and distance last time out. Oscar Gonzalez doing a real good job. Tabs Juan Leva to ride, and I tell you what, this was one where I just got to toss it up. If you could figure out, maybe a single in the races before or something here in this 5th race, which starts the Rainbow 6, you might want to go a little deep in here. You did use the number 8 horse in here. Well, I don't even have a ticket, and that is CD Gold.
I agree. This is a wide open race. You could make a case for a lot of these horses. My only issue with Help a Rye was returning off the short rest, but that's a case for a few of the horses in this race. So it all depends on how fit they are and how quickly they can come back and run their best. This one, I like making his first start since transferring to the Peter Walder barn last month. That's CD Gold. He's also returning to the main track. Peter Walder, 57%. He's 4 for 7 when switching horses from turf to dirt in their first start for the barn. And the last time he ran for a tag on dirt, he was a 2.5 length winner at this distance. All signs pointed to him for me.
And he is the morning line favorite in there, so I guess I'm trying to beat that one. And number 9, Pachanga Party, who we both have on the ticket, stepping up against Open Company today after dueling for the lead and drawing clear defeat 6,250 condition claimers. As the favorite, going 5.5 furlongs. Howard Mills is the trainer. Luca Panici had a good day yesterday with 3 winners, but this horse, that's a big jump up. We tell you this all the time, going from, condition claiming into Open Company. But number 9, Pachanga Party, looks like one of those horses that could sit a nice trip in here.
And has back class. You know what? He won his only previous start here at Gulfstream Park West. It was in a stake. He won the Bird on the Wire Stakes, but it was back in September of 2013. Let's see if he can take a trip through memory lane today.
I threw in the 3, Rocky's Home Run in 3rd in there, and didn't run badly last time out. Was 3rd. Got it licensed to improve today. Got journeyman Miguel Vasquez in the saddle today. As I mentioned, that is where the Rainbow 6 starts. The 6th race is our final pick 5 of the afternoon. 1 mile on the turf. These are maiden claiming 2-year-olds, $25,000. 8 runners in this field. A clean field, no scratches, no jockey changes to report in here. Katie, you went with the number 8 horse in here, and that is Templar Warrior.
I'm taking a page out of your book, Ron. This one is exiting a Ron Nicoletti key race. Last time out, ran in a race that has so far produced 3 next out winners. JR's Holiday, the winner, went on to finish third in a stake. The runner-up, Applicator, came back to win. So did 2 others. And then the third place finisher, Little Nick V, was only narrowly beaten here just the other day. I think this one fits perfectly in here, dropping out of a maiden special weight. Never really got involved in the debut, but exiting a key race again and getting major class relief.
Yeah, and that race you mentioned, Carlovaca Razor's horse the other day, looked like he was going to win that race and just got nipped at the wire. I did go with the horse on the inside, number 1, Scalpine, dropping to this $25,000 level, turning back to a mile on the turf after showing early interest and fading. That was against $35,000 maidens here in a race that was moved from the grass to a mile and a 16th. It was on a sealed, sloppy track. Antonio Sano, Edgar Zayas handling the surface switch this afternoon. I just went to the inside there. I think he's a morning line favorite in here. I thought your horse should be the morning line favorite in here, actually, Templar Thing. But 9-2, you're getting a great price. Templar
I do.
Warrior.
I like that a lot. We also both used the 5 Warrior's Legacy. This one is actually a stablemate to Templar Warrior, an Insummation colt stretching out on the grass today. Finished 8th in his debut against $50,000 maiden claimers. Gets blinkers added. I found this interesting, playing musical jockeys. Miguel Vasquez, he was on Templar Warrior and Warrior's Legacy in both of their last races. He chooses to ride Warrior's Legacy.
Well, yeah, number 6, Freedom for DLT, we both have on our ticket too. Treated with LASIK, broke from post 10 last time out, stalked the pace and finished in 4th in front of the horse that I have on top, and that is Scalpine, and that rained out $35,000 maiden race here. That was on opening day. We know we went off the turf onto this one. So I think that I have to go back and look at that horse now that you got the key race angle going through my head in there, but I'm going to stick with the number 1. Scalpine thus far, but I reserve the right to add that one to my pick 5 ticket. Race number 7 this afternoon, 6.5 furlongs, claimers, 3 and up, non-winners of 3 races in life or 3-year-olds. And we have 1 jockey change to report. And here comes on the number 4, make the rider Douglas Portillo, as we call him, Doug Portillo today. And we're going to go back and show you a performance of a horse that was not laughing at the start of its race.
No, maybe in hindsight if he had a good attitude about it, but certainly not at the moment. Take a look at Judge Chuckles in this race. It's hard to see a little bit without having that head-on view, but he misses the start, stumbles, gets bumped around, and then is shuffled back to last. But he's going to make a 3-wide bid in this race and still come on with a decent run. He finishes 2nd in this race, only beaten a length. He does come on pretty well. The winner, Bold Summit, came back to run a very gallant 2nd here in his next start. Again, right over this surface. So I think that plays very well for the Judge Chuckles today. And with Bold Summit, he stepped up to open company in that race. Judge Chuckles, he is staying against condition claimers, and he's won here before.
Well, we got our exacta flip-flopped in here. I went with the 2, all my members, and I got the Judge Chuckles on for all that reasons you mentioned, everything like that. Did stumble, then I even got, had to steady at the start and everything. Did not have a good beginning. All my memories is cutting back to 6.5 furlongs and dropping to this $12,500 condition claiming level. Duel for the lead last time out, faded against considerably tougher. That was a $16,000 optional claimer going a 1-turn mile across town. Mike Petro, Jonathan Gonzalez in the saddle. So a logical choice, I think, on the drop. Great barn. I think we got the logical 2 up there. You closed it out with the number 7 horse in here.
Mitos y Leyendas. This one is stepping up slightly for Tamara Levy today, but did come out on top in a duel to the wire against $6,250 claimers on September 26th. And he's actually the only 3-time winner in the field, so that earned him a place on my ticket. You threw in the 3, and that is Diabolical IPA.
Yeah, this one makes the 3rd start of his current form cycle. He responded last time out to a drop in competition. He rallied to finish 3rd. That race that we just showed you behind the Judge Chuckles last time out. Thinking if you like him, you should have him somewhere on the ticket. He didn't run badly at all last time out. But I think we have the right 2 there with the 2 and 5, 5 and 2 in the 7th race this afternoon. Let's go to race number 8, and this is one nice turf race. 7.5 furlongs, maiden special weight, fillies, 2-year-olds. Full field of 11 runners in here, and we have 1 jockey change. It comes on the number 1 horse, make the rider Jonathan Gonzalez, and we want to go back and show you performance from Delaware Park of today to number 5, and that is Leroy's Mummy.
Let's take a little field trip over to Delaware Park, who's probably a little colder than we are today. Here is the 2 Leroy's Mommy. This is her career debut, and I thought a very solid effort. Gets through along the inside, actually takes the lead a little bit. The horse just to her outside comes back, and then they both get run down by a horse that closes on the far outside. But Leroy's Mommy only beaten 3/4 of a length in the debut. A very promising start to her career. We're going to have to see how that form translates here to Gulfstream Park West, but she definitely has the best form of this field.
And she's trained by Jane Sibeli, and as you mentioned early on, and everybody must notice, is Jane Sibeli just having a really good start to the Gulfstream Park West Turf Festival meeting. So a logical choice on the ticket in there. We both used the number 4, and that is Kakadu, a half-sister to a Grade 2 winner called Protonico, making a career debut for trainer Todd Pletcher. 12 morning workouts showing in preparation for this assignment. I looked it up. Trainer Pletcher, he's 14 for 101, 14% with 2-year-old first-time starters on the turf. But this horse really nicely bred. Todd Pletcher, you got to have this horse somewhere on the ticket. He's been working very well.
Absolutely. I think she's been working better and better, has a really extensive work pattern, so should be fit. And although Protonico did his best running on the dirt, I think this one is bred just fine for the turf by Tisway, and the dam actually turned in the best racing performance of her career on grass.
And we're in total agreement here with the third one that she's incredible, cutting back slightly today to this 7.5 furlong distance after showing a fondness for racing around 2 turns on the turf when she came within a half length of shedding the maiden tag at a mile. Really nice race in here, and it is really fun to see these 2-year-olds on the turf, especially when you got these big full fields and everything like that. It's going to be fun, and it does not it bodes well for the rolling super high fives, because this one could pay very, very handsomely. Let's go to race number 9 today. 6 furlongs, allowance optional claim at 3-year-olds and up, $62,500. The claiming level. Want to go back and show you a performance of one of my favorite horses that used to run down here and is back running here, and that was back in February, and the Grade 3 Gulfstream Park Sprint.
Talk about an exciting race. I cannot wait to see CZ back here in South Florida and with trainer Stanley Gold. This is back from February. CZ angles out here. You're going to see at the quarter pole. He's the 2 horse, and he is going to kick clear to a pretty nice score here in the Gulfstream Park Sprint, a Grade 3 event, and this is a really nice colt. Draws off very strongly here late, and actually kind of wrapped up there at the wire. He knows that he's getting up there in that race. He hasn't run since July when he was 5th in the Grade 3 Belmont Sprint. He was actually 5th in a pair of stakes up in the north when he was with trainer Nick Zito. Both those times, the distance was a little too far for him, and guess who he finished behind? Private Zone.
I know. That's what I was going to just say. Private Zone, who has just been incredible all year long. And, you know, what I like about this horse, too, is the 59 work.
Yep.
So it looks like this horse is ready to run. And as you mentioned, can't wait to see this horse come back and run for a Stanley Gold. Scratch the 7 and 8 in there. And I think let me tell you about the 4 that I used in second rough passage. Turning back today to this distance, 6 furlongs. Track the pace, weekend late to finish 5th behind Breeders' Cup bound Valid, and multiple stakes winner Grand Shores. That was in the 7 furlong groomstick, keeping some really nice company the last time out. Number 4 Rough Passage, I think that's got to be somewhere on the ticket. 10-1 on the morning line. Going off that race, I think maybe this horse can grab a share, but I'm a CZ fan.
Yeah, this might be the race where you want to single in this race. I know he is coming off a layoff, but with that bullet move, I think he's ready to go. But gotta love the value there on 10-1, running for the Kristen Mulhall barn with Rough Passage. That's a nice barn.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people, I was looking at the selection today, used the horse you have in second. That's number 3, Roger, what is it? Roger Racker.
Roger Rocket. This one returning, again, layoffs come into play. Returning from a 5-month break. This is going to be his first start since transferring to the Gustavo Delgado barn. He hasn't run since May, but he ran well on the Midwest circuit, including a win in an upper level allowance in which he earned a 90 buyer. That came off a 13-month layoff and was also his lone start at this distance, so I don't think the time off is going to be an issue with that kind of win. He too working very well and over this surface at Gulfstream Gulfstream Park West.
Yeah, now Dreaming of Nino, really nice horse. You look at that last performance, pretty impressive when he drew up to defeat $62,500 optional claim was over at Gulfstream on August 15th. Mike Petro, Jose Caraballo in the saddle. I think it's a horse you got to have on your Tri-Super and certainly on the Super High Five ticket.
Yep, another coming off a bit of a layoff, but it looks short compared to the others in this race.
Exactly. Let's go to the final race of the afternoon. A mile on the turf, maiden claimers. They're 3 and up, and they're running for $12,500. Jockey change on the 3. Make the run of Pedro Monterey Jr. Scratch the 4, the 10, and the number 12 horse in here. And I found the 2 horses that you can go either way. I went with the 7 Key Royale. This one is stretching out to a mile. Responded to the drop in competition with a well-meant second place finish, beating a half length against this caliber competition, going 7.5 furlongs. Kathy Ritvo is the trainer. Jose Caraballo in the saddle. I just thought with the stretch out to a mile today was going to help this horse, but I cannot leave the number 1 Ven Holiday off the ticket.
Absolutely. And you know what? I might have Cur Royale at the top of my ticket if he weren't returning off such short rest. He looked excellent when he came out for his race the other day. If he looks like that again, gotta put money on this horse. But Ven Holiday, this one, Harlan's Holiday Gelding, made a 5-wide bid, rallied from 11th, took the lead in the stretch, was just caught to finish second in his last race. That was on September 26th. It was his first start at this level, first start in 6 weeks. I think he could sit the trip here, and he is making his second start off that freshening.
You know, the reason I flip-flop him, and it's not a big thing, it's just I thought the race set up so perfectly from last time out with those swift early factors. They went to half in 46 and 3, and he come flying late, but I would not be shocked at all if he won it, and I'm going to take a look at Cur Royale when he comes back to see how that horse looks here, and from the Kathy Ritvo barn. I used the 5, and so did Katie in third, and that's the 5. Go, Salvatore, go.
This one was the third, 5 lengths behind Ven Holiday last time out for Gustavo Delgado. He's hit the board in 3 consecutive starts since returning from a 6-week freshening in August. Seems to be getting better and better, rounding into form, getting that fitness level back. Edgar Zayas stays aboard. Definitely worth putting somewhere on your ticket, especially a lock for your Super High Five.
Well, it's a fun way to end the meet this week. Sunday, we'll be back. Dark for Live racing Monday and Tuesday, but we'll be back on Wednesday. And don't forget, we got the new Pick 5 in the first 5 races of the day, the rolling Super High Fives throughout the afternoon, and the $5 Quinella in the last race.
So many wagers on this menu. It's hard to keep track of them sometimes, but makes for very exciting results, and we have a great card on tap. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it all plays out today.
Good luck.